ESPN's Louis-Riddick commented about the Browns and their signing of Austin Hooper, made him the highest paid tight end in football. And he says, talking about Hooper, he says, for a young quarterback, you want to find two things: a great running game and a guy who can control the middle of the field and provide him with a valuable, dependable receiving target. You want to pay him top premium dollars for that? Ideally, no. But they've put themselves in there is no option in the draft because the draft isn't really stocked for it. And it makes sense for the Browns to do what they did. So is he right?
That was a big number for Hooper, but I think it tells us that this head coach wants to run a lot of two tight end formations, and he wanted a more dependable receiver than Njoku. And let's face it, that's not a high bar.
No, and Njoku could still be on the team if he goes with that two receivers set. Riddick goes on from ESPN on the Browns' most important additions. What do you think it is? Well, he thinks it's Kevin-Stefanski. It's going to be the most important addition on the football team, regardless of who they bring in, because there's no question last year when you talk to anybody, this team was woefully, unbelievably out-coached. These players should not have underperformed to that degree, however. They should have had a load of improvement, especially if they're bolstering the offense from a weaponry standpoint. You're hearing that a lot about Freddie Kitchens now. You didn't hear much of it during the season, nationally.
Yeah, I think locally we looked at it and said, boy, if this team just had a different head coach,
right.
Not that they were going to win the Super Bowl, but certainly they would have been a lot more of a contender, a lot more serious contender. But you're right, nationally, I think it was because, Les, that people gave John Dorsey the benefit of the doubt.
As did we.
He had a good reputation here, and this was his first head coaching hire, and he certainly should have known, since Freddie Kitchens was in the building every day, what he was getting. And we just assumed that he had vetted him through that experience this previous season.
Well, actually, I would have thought he had somebody else vetted. If you get the job as the GM, and you got a guy, a coach on shaky ground, you would think that he had more options in his hip pocket, but apparently he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, he admitted to us that he had a list and that Kitchens wasn't on it. And then that Kitchens then put himself on it and I always thought that was faulty logic to begin with. How did he put himself on it? By being a good play caller with Baker Mayfield behind center? The head coaching job is such a big job, and it's so much bigger than that. I'd like to think that, given the fact that these guys interviewed Stefanski 2 years in a row, that DePodesta never wavered on the fact that he thought he was the right guy, that he is the right guy. We'll see.